Welcome back to Group Chat, everyone. We're tired, but we wanted to make sure we got the Super Bowl recap.
This is our Jordan flu game.
The Jordan flu game, yes. We're tired, we're exhausted, but we had to come out. And there will be a Jordan Shrug reference through our Super Bowl experience that we will share. We had a great time at the Super Bowl. We had some very funny incidents that happened. We are sharing all of it the whole weekend. And then we'll get to a little bit of news. Looks like people are going back into office. Of course, we had to talk about Kanye and his girlfriend broke up. Sad. On Valentine's Day? Devastating. All right, let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, everyone, we are back. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely tired.
I'm dead.
I have no soul at the moment.
I haven't been this tired in ages.
I just had a series of Zoom meetings, and
What's the icebreaker? Oh, how was the game? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because I'm wearing a Rams hat today.
Yeah.
And it was great. And I'm there's a lot to catch up on from the weekend because it was a comical. Yesterday was comical in so many levels. Because now that I'm sober, I can truly think of all the funny things that happened yesterday.
A lot of funny stuff. A lot of funny business.
A lot of funny business. But we're gonna start, and we're gonna talk about the game too. But we'll start with a Thursday, just being out and about in LA. One of the things that I thought was super interesting that we commented on, that the city didn't feel crowded because of the Super Bowl, and that was Thursday. I think people started coming into town Thursday, but you were still able to get hotels. We talked about that. So probably the economic impact the city should have had by hosting the Super Bowl probably wasn't there for everybody. Normally, everyone benefits. So the Grove, which is the shopping center that we all go to all the time, which
is typically packed.
Packed. We went Friday evening for dinner with the family. I mean, the parking lot was empty, literally empty. So either people were scared away and chose not to.
It's like a Carmageddon type situation.
Yes.
Because the Grove typically on a Friday evening, doesn't matter if it's February, November, or July.
Slammed.
Right.
Yeah. So that was interesting to see. Friday, there's a lot of parties and events happening all over town. Friday, we went to the H-Wood party with Revolve, which was just the most insane production I'd ever seen for...
I will go on record saying it was the nicest party I've ever been to.
Wow. Nicest party you've ever been to.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like no expense was spared. So when you walked into the party, because it was so organized...
You know what I was curious about? Like, there were people that were in the outside, but then you needed a band to get to where the performance was. So were there two different levels?
No. What do you mean?
No, because you get into Pacific Design Center.
Yeah.
And then when you walk to where the performances and tables are, there was another band.
That's only if you were at a table, not around the stage. There was not.
Got it.
You didn't need a pass for that. So you walked in. There was an insane activation, or many activations that Revolve kind of had put together with the H-Wood group. So it felt like you were truly walking into like a fashion type event. Incredible activations. Liquid IV was doing margaritas with Liquid IV in it. I had one of those when I walked in. So I was hydrated while I was drinking. That was nice. And then as you walk in, it's like insane, just the production was so big. The tent was huge. The bathrooms were plentiful. The red carpet was plentiful.
Yeah. I'll tell you the takeaway I had was that it was like the most brilliantly designed stage, because it was a square stage in the center of the
Was
place.
it square or circle?
It was square.
Okay.
But the artist goes to all four sides.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where you are. You get to enjoy, parts of the performance.
Yeah. So Friday night they had Justin Bieber, Zach Bia DJing, and Marshmello DJing.
Yep.
That's insane.
Bieber was incredible.
Bieber was incredible. And
He's just a rock star.
yeah.
Like, he's our modern day rock star. I know people have their opinions on him, but I love the kid. I think he's honestly like the biggest rock star we have today.
Yeah.
In 2022.
I mean, okay. I can give you that.
Is there someone else?
Travis Scott.
He's canceled, isn't he?
Says who? Don't tell his fans
There's
that.
a reason why it was Justin Bieber and Drake, not Travis Scott and Drake.
Well, obviously from he's laying low right now, Travis Scott. So, but anyways, the party, I think there was a couple of interesting things about the party. One, obviously, Revolve brings their crowd, which is like very well-dressed, good-looking people. And then H-Wood has their mix of like talent, billionaires, and just interesting people. So when the party finally got going and it was kind of packed and you could kind of see everyone hanging out having a good time, it was fascinating to see like the crowd. So literally walked by me was Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, which I don't get starstruck from anybody. I was like, "What up, Jeff?" I just had to say. I was just like,
Did you say it?
Yeah. And he just nodded his head and kept walking.
Because he was in the section.
In our section.
I saw him.
I think his table was like a few down.
Yep.
But just seeing him, I watched him watch Justin Bieber.
Did he have security? I didn't even see.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Just quiet security.
Yeah, discreet security. But just seeing him just like, just partying, it was pretty dope. Then you saw like all the traditional Hollywood stars like Tobey Maguire and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo loves his fucking mask.
Leo the discipline on the mask is unbelievable.
He was the only person in the entire party wearing a mask.
He was the only person the entire weekend I saw wearing a mask.
Do you think it's just a disguise?
I mean, if you're the only person wearing it, it's no longer a disguise.
Right.
So he's
exposing himself if he's the mask guy.
Yeah. And I think I mean, who knows? Maybe because
it was like a real mask. It was a KN95.
Yeah, he's not.
It wasn't
around.
like a cloth mask.
No. Then but what I think the most fascinating thing that I saw that night was Dave Portnoy was there.
Yep.
I could not believe the amount of white males walking up to him to take pictures with him.
So he stood by us. He was literally in front of me and Mikey,
and
for an hour.
And Tobey Maguire was right next to him.
Yeah, no one cared about Tobey.
It's crazy. Tobey Maguire is a superstar of a.
And I mean, well, tell a story. There's a friend that we have literally pushed Bezos away to get to Portnoy. So Portnoy is literally the white hero.
Yes. I mean, look, I think for a lot of men, Dave Portnoy is like...
He's a god.
He's a god. And so...
I thought his fame kind of... His like 10 minutes of fame or whatever the saying was last year during the pandemic.
Yeah, but no one saw anybody. So this is the first time you're seeing him. And you're still listening to his podcast. You're still engaging in his content. But he is a bona fide superstar.
Superstar.
It's crazy.
Literally anyone over the age of 35 that's a white male worships this guy. Yeah. But it's 35 and up.
Yeah, it's definitely an older crowd. Like that was the most surprising thing is like the amount of like older men going up to. Usually you see that with athletes.
Yeah.
But like this was really interesting.
Yeah, he literally stood in front of us for probably the entire Justin Bieber performance.
Yeah.
And I was seeing like white males, just like jockeying to say like, I love you.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. He's really a superstar. But
it's funny because it's successful white males.
Yeah.
These aren't poor people.
No, but that's his audience.
Yeah.
His audience is pretty successful people, right? Yeah. Like, I think he is able to say and do what a lot of these guys want to say.
I always say that. It's like Portnoy is the scumbag that everyone wants to be.
Yeah.
And he gets to do it publicly. And all the like rich Wall Street guys are so they're not allowed to do that publicly.
Yeah.
And if you were to I would suspect Portnoy's audience has one of the highest income rates.
I bet she's the highest.
Yes. It's just all white Wall Street hedge fund guys that want to be the fucking guy that talks about tits and talk about shit and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's impressive. So that was Friday night. The party was incredible, great energy, and I left immediately after that because I knew I had a long day with the family, and so. We leave, and then in the morning I wake up and we hear there was an incident outside of the Nice Guy, and it seems like everyone's okay. Obviously, anything with our friends is always scary, but everyone we know is safe. And I'm not getting into details because I don't know the details yet, but. This is the challenge with some of the crime stuff that's happened in LA, especially with the number of high profile people that are in town for the Super Bowl. And, it was a party that Justin Bieber was having. And so, luckily it seems like everyone's safe. There were people taken to the hospital though. But yeah, so that I left the party. Saturday I had a long ass day. Run club.
How many miles do you do?
I didn't actually get to run because we had a play date right after that. So this is the challenge.
You didn't want to be sweaty.
No, it was literally during Run Club we had the play date. So I just came to say hi to everyone, and then we were on the way to the park.
Okay.
So Friday night, go out, gets a few hours of sleep, Run Club, kids play date, which was 2+ hours. Then I was adamant about taking Dominic to the NFL experience.
Yep.
Funny story. We get there. It takes 45 minutes to get there. This kid drinks a lot of water. He's very hydrated.
And our cousin Ashwin was there.
Our cousin Ashwin came with us, and get to downtown. The parking's complicated. They're just making it harder than it needs to be. I end up parking near the JW Marriott, which is less than a half mile away from the convention center. As soon as we get out of the car, Dominic's like, "I gotta go pee." I'm like, shit. So we start walking, but everything's all blocked off. Like half the restaurants are bought out for like corporate events. And I'm like, oh, well, let's just go to the convention center. We could pee there. That's where the NFL experience is. I pick up Dominic because he's like, I really have to go. Then like 30 seconds later, he's like, Dada, I gotta go now. I bolt. I'm running. Bear in mind, on Friday in downtown LA, it was 95 degrees.
Yep.
I'm carrying this kid, a 4-year-old, down Figueroa, running. And then my cousin's behind me. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, just run. Come on. So we start running. We get to the convention center. The line is thousands of people to get in this place. I'm like, there's no way we're going to get in 5 minutes. It's going to take 30 minutes to get in. I turn around. I ask, I'm like, is there any restaurant like across the street or a hotel or anything? They're like, no, you got to go all the way up there. Back to LA Live. I'm running now back up Figueroa carrying this kid. I'm so tired. My arm is sobbing wet. So I just assume he peed.
Okay.
I finally get to the restaurant. I'm like, did you pee? And he's like, no. I'm sweating profusely from carrying him. I go to the first restaurant. They said, no, we don't have bathrooms. I go to the second restaurant. She's like, are you buying something? And I jokingly said to her, I'm like, I'll buy 20 pizzas. I'm like, my kid just needs to use the restroom. She gives the code, gets into the bathroom. He pees. He's ecstatic. He's in the best mood. He's like skipping, hopping, so happy. Walk back to the convention center. The line's longer now. I hear a lady on a mic saying, everyone must be vaccinated or show proof of negative COVID test. If the child is over 2 years old, must be vaccinated or show proof of a negative COVID test. And I'm like, I got a 4-year-old. He can't get vaccinated.
Of course.
She's like, we know people under the age of 5 cannot be vaccinated. You must have a negative COVID test. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's a complete joke.
A joke.
It's a complete joke. And like, here's the problem with, and like, I'm a liberal. Yeah. And the problem with liberals is like, Republicans were 100% wrong in April of 2020.
Yeah.
Liberals are 100% wrong in February of 2022.
Yeah.
100%. Mask, COVID testing, like, it's all over. Look at the data.
Yeah.
Like, you want to trust the science? Trust the science.
Yeah.
The science is clear.
So here, let me tell you, we wait in line for 30 minutes. I'm like, I have a negative COVID test that he took like last week. And then I'm like, there's like thousands of kids in this line. And I'm listening to people. A lot of them are unvaccinated.
Of course.
Right? And they're all showing like negative COVID tests. Everyone's like, so I'm like, let's just go. Let's just roll the dice here. We wait in line. I give my kid the out. I'm like, hey, I know it's been a long start to this journey. Do you want to bail? I'll buy you ice cream. We'll go to a restaurant. Do whatever you want. He's like, no, I want to see it. I'm like, all right. So he was hyped to see it. Finally get to the thing. I show my proof of vaccination. My cousin shows his. I just grab my kid and just walk in. I'm like, dude, he's a tall 2-year-old. Let's go. Like, this is ridiculous.
So you pretended he was a 2-year-old.
I didn't say anything, actually. I just walked right in.
Got it.
And I was like, and then you have to wear a mask when you get inside, okay?
Oh, my God.
Nobody's wearing a fucking mask. All these people from all over the country are in states where you don't wear a mask.
I mean, Garcetti was on the field with no mask.
Yes.
Yesterday.
And then everyone's carrying around a tall boy. You know, like a nice 40 ounce of
of
Bud
course.
Light.
It's Super Bowl weekend.
Yes. Of course, they can't wear a mask and drink beer. That's not possible. So finally, we get in there. It's madness in there. So this felt like the true Super Bowl experience. Like getting in line, just everyone wearing their shitty team's jerseys.
Yep.
And just everything was a long line. To kick a field goal was an hour wait. To throw the football, 1 hour wait.
I heard Dom really liked when someone kicked the field goal.
So interesting enough, we go to watch, and there's like this little short kid, young kid, walks up there, boom, kicks a field goal.
Yeah, Ashwin told me. He's like, Dom was super pumped.
Yeah, he was clapping. Then all these other people start going, all like drunk adults. None of them can even get close.
So it's only the young kid.
Young kid got it.
Yeah.
So then he keeps clapping. I'm like, no. Those guys are losers. They're not getting it in. We're not clapping for them. We only clap when it goes through the
Do you think
post.
Dominic became a football fan because of the experience?
I think he definitely is more interested in it. So like the Rams game, he keeps asking me, did our team win? Did our team win? And he thinks there's football every day. So every day he asks me, did our team win? I was like, man, there's only a game once a week.
No, it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, that's why, because during the season, he always just sees it in the background. So he just assumes it's on every day. So finally, we walked around. We hung out for 40 minutes. This was my primer for the Disneyland experience. I wanted to know, without my wife, if I could just handle it. Like, what would it be like?
And what's the conclusion?
He was so good. I feel confident we can go to Disneyland now. I was shocked on how good he was. So calm, so patient, didn't complain. And then afterwards, I promised him ice cream. The line for ice cream is like 500 people. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
At the convention center.
At the convention center. I'm like, let's just leave. We'll go somewhere else and find ice cream. Walking up Figueroa, ice cream cart just randomly rolls by us. I was like, boom, what do you want? Pick whatever flavor you like there. Picks up a popsicle. We get in the car. Great experience. I was blown away because like my biggest concern with Disney and these types of things is when you take your kid and they're too young, it's just a painful experience for them.
Of course, yeah.
Like it's not fun. No. And so I was thrilled with that. Fast forward, Saturday night, I convinced my wife, let's go out. Go have a little dinner. We go to the party. I was genuinely very tired by this point in the day to actually enjoy the party. We get there and it's obviously it's Drake tonight. So on Saturday night, it's insane. Like
it's honestly Drake is the biggest draw.
Yeah. It's insane.
There's no one that I think draws bigger than
Drake.
Drake.
The amount of like I'm sure here's the thing. I left early because I was nervous about just leaving the party and not getting proper sleep and all this stuff because I knew Sunday was going to be a long day. As soon as he was about to go on, I bolt and I head back home. And I couldn't even get through the crowd. It was so slammed. And like all the athletes were there for Drake.
Of course.
Everyone, the tables were star-studded with like the who's who. I'm sure if we saw a recap, it was like anyone and everyone was there.
I mean, the area that Hwood has, which is, technically VIP.
Yeah.
it was probably 5x crowded than Bieber.
Yeah.
Drake versus Bieber.
Yeah.
Like Bieber, I could move around.
Yeah. No, and Future came out and was a surprise. I didn't get to see the performance. I went home. I wanted to get rest. Get up. Had to take Dominic to soccer in the morning. I mean, this is the longest weekend. We haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl, by the way. We've been talking for 20 minutes.
I've
not gotten to the Super Bowl. And then finally, we all go to the Super Bowl. We pick up Anand at his house and our friend Eric, and we start driving down. I didn't know what the traffic was going to be like, so we got food, we got drinks. We were just going to tailgate in our car. Traffic was light.
Yeah, it was easy.
Easy. Like, I think they had prepared properly, and I think people also probably came so early that half the crowd. I mean, by the time we got there, the place looked like it was a zoo.
Yeah,
and we got there at 12:30 for a 3:30 game. Mm-hmm. And then we met up with some friends, started drinking. Then the shenanigans start happening. This is where it gets interesting.
A lot of shenanigans.
So Super Bowl, I get excited. I start drinking. I start having a little fun. We're tailgating.
Having some pizza.
And
like, for the record, I was telling everyone Bengals are going to win.
Yes. For the record, and the record is the last episode, I said who was going to win and who was going to be the MVP. Both those things came true. So we'll get to the game shortly. But we're walking up to the stadium. I have my Rams gear on. I have my Oakley wraparounds,
and you have some chain.
I bought a chain, so it was like a gold chain with a Rams emblem. I'll post the picture. It's hysterical. So I have my chain, and I'm like walking in, and my friend Mikey goes, "You look ridiculous," right? And we walking into the stadium, super easy process. So the first step is security, and normally these security lines are so long at the Super Bowl. Seamless. It
was easy.
Easy. We got patted down. And then you get to walk into the property of SoFi. You're not in the stadium technically. They haven't checked your tickets yet. Between that moment and the stadium, some interesting things happen. First, we get a beer.
Yep.
We get Bud Lights.
I got a seltzer.
Disgusting. Then, as we get the Bud Light, I'm getting hyped. I'm jumping around on Mikey and Anand, and we're just like, let's go, Rams, go. Whose house? Just start screaming, yelling. I'm wearing a blue jacket, a Rams color jacket. My phone pops out. I look on the ground. It's smashed. Completely gone. It's not a cracked screen. It is actually not working. Not working. I'm like, fuck. I use his phone or Mikey's phone and said, I gotta call my wife and tell her if she's trying to reach me. Hey.
I texted Haley and my mom.
It said, hey,
anyone needs anything, text me because these phones
smashed. Okay, this is 1:30. Okay, 1:30 p.m.
Honestly, not having your phone 1:30 at the Super Bowl is probably the worst
I just got my phone. I just got a phone an hour ago. I didn't have a phone for 24 hours.
It's the worst possible outcome.
I didn't mind it. I'll tell you why. So then we have to show our tickets. Guess where the tickets are? On my goddamn phone. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah. Like, this is how stupid. This is such stupid bad luck.
This is where the cloud is.
Yes.
Cloud can be beneficial.
So I'm like, I show the lady, I'm like, what do we do here? And he goes, oh, this is an interesting situation.
They brought like supervisors.
They brought a supervisor over and I tried to explain it. And she gave a solution. She goes, can you log into your Ticketmaster account? I was like, oh. I had not logged into Ticketmaster in 5 fucking years, okay? I randomly logged in last week because I got the ticket transferred. But I didn't know my password then, so I reset it. And I remembered my password, luckily. I had a few drinks, but I was like, oh my God. What if I don't remember the damn password for this stupid thing?
Yeah, you took my phone.
I took your phone, I logged into Ticketmaster, and luckily the tickets were there. They scanned it, and we walked right into the stadium. But this was like the beginning of the day. I was like, this is going to be a long-ass day. So finally, we get to we get to the seats, and we're sitting section 106, which is like, basically, it was the Bengals end zone, the lower bowl. And, we like to be transparent. These are expensive ass seats.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anand, for that. The face value was $5,200. Face value. Okay. We obviously, we know some people, so we got it at face value. We sit down, a shocking amount of Bengals fans. Shocking.
Who day?
Who Day was in front and behind.
I would say, 70-30? Who day?
Well, I would say half the audience was not rooting for anybody. They were just neutral.
Just corporate folks, and then, but
there was a
anyone
lot of
that was cheering was Bengals.
Yeah, there was a lot. I was shocked at how many people Bengals, and the people in front of us and behind us were from Ohio. Very friendly folks, fine people, really just like chatting us up and blah 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 blah. And I jokingly said to one of them, I said, "You're not going to like me by the end of this game." And they go, I'm like, I'm a sore winner. And so I said it jokingly, but I'm like, if the Rams lose, I'll be cheering with you guys. I don't care.
He'll switch his hat.
I'll switch my hat and I'll be a Bengals fan. I want to go home a winner either way. The game goes on. Obviously, Rams score right away. So I'm getting hyped. I'm getting pumped. I'm like, we're going to win. We're going to win. Then they take the lead in the third quarter, right?
Yeah, of course. They were up like 10 points.
Yeah, they're up by 10. But for some reason, I just thought they were going to win no matter what. I just felt like they were moving the ball down easily and they were going to win. So the game goes on. The game's getting closer. The Rams are now down by 6, right?
Yep.
6 points. And the Rams are driving. And we're in the end zone where we're literally there.
Your boy.
Where they can score.
Your boy Cup.
Yeah, and I was like, I go to Mikey. I'm like, can you please videotape this touchdown? This is going to be the game-winning touchdown, and I need a video of it. And then pan to me, cheering. So there's a flag thrown, which our friend Mikey calls. He was like, they owe us a flag. They're going to give us a flag here. Boom, 2 flags are called, and then now they'll have the ball, like whatever, like on the 1 yard line or whatever it is. And I'm getting hyped. In that moment, there was a bit of a melee. The guy behind me was not happy with me cheering anymore.
He turned on you.
He turned on me. My dear Ohioan friend was like, I'm going to smack the shit out of you in your fucking glasses and blah, 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 blah. Like, just loses it. Because obviously I want to rub it into everyone around me.
You're being extra.
Why?
No, you're being extra at the in the stands.
Of course. I know we're about to win. I know Joe Burrows is not going to win the game. Like he's not there yet. I'm just getting so pumped, and this guy just loses his shit. Gets mad at me. He's just like, he wants to punch me. So then Mikey goes, do you really want to? I'm like, Mikey, when we score the touchdown, I'm rubbing in this guy's fucking face. Like, I'm going to make him punch me. And Mikey's like, don't. Just cheer, but just cheer to me. You don't have to cheer to him.
Mikey was trying to lower the temperature.
Yeah. Joe Biden over there. And so we score the touchdown, and I go, fine, I'll just do the Jordan shrug. So he scored the touchdown, and I faced toward him, and I just did the Jordan shrug, and I was like, you got to videotape me doing the Jordan shrug. So with touchdown scored, Jordan shrug hits, and then I don't say a word. I just keep shrugging. Like I hold my hand for like a minute shrug. And then Bengals get the ball back, right? So they have their chance to score. And I was like, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, win the game. I'm going nuts. And he's like, no, just do the shrug again. Don't, because like I felt the defense was just, it was a Rams moment. So he gets this, I'm like, videotapes. He's videotaping. The sack comes, and I do another Jordan shrug. And then I look around, they all disappear. It's crazy. The thing about sports that's so interesting to me, because I used to be that fan where I'd be so emotionally tied to my team winning or losing. And then I became very close to so many athletes.
And you realize the athletes don't give a fuck.
They don't.
They don't care.
They'll move on with their day. Like
it's a job.
It's a job for them. Like anything else, it's a job. So I was like, why am I so invested if they're not even invested? They're going to go out tonight and party and have fun anyways. Who cares?
Yeah.
So anyways, that happens. I look around. The stadium's emptying out. All the Bengals fans are, now all the Rams fans are coming in. They have the trophy ceremony. And lo and behold, Cooper Kupp is MVP.
Yeah.
which
Is he the greatest white athlete in the history of sports?
Tom Brady.
True. Sorry.
Tom Brady's the greatest athlete of all time.
Cooper Kupp is like a positional player that typically white athletes aren't good at.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's so
like
good.
there's a lot of good white quarterbacks. There aren't a lot of good white receivers.
Yeah, and what's interesting about him was Odell Beckham played the first half.
He tore his ACL.
It looks like he tore his ACL. Is that confirmed now?
Yeah, it's confirmed.
And then he was the only real big target because Robert Woods, their other star, tore his ACL early in the season.
He literally was the only person that could catch the ball, and he caught the ball every single time.
Every single time that was thrown to him, he made the play. And so
I mean, it's a great win for the whites.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp is literally like a white hero.
He's awesome. He's a great guy too.
Yeah.
Like he's such like a good person, and like him and his wife just seem like amazing people. So great win for the Rams in the city of LA. I saw there was some celebrating that was happening around town. You guys were telling me that in downtown people were going nuts. But all in all, incredible win and very interesting experience. The other part that we'll now get to is the halftime show. Mm-hmm. So, we talked about, like, we haven't really sat down for any of the halftime shows. We usually go get a drink or go use the restroom.
Yeah, this is Super Bowl 10 or 11 for us.
Yeah.
And I've never watched a halftime show.
Never watched, and I have to say the halftime show was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It was so good. And the thing about it was, like, and normally halftime shows do a great job of this. There's never that lull. It's just boom, hit after hit after hit after hit. I think what made this so exciting was, like, you had Snoop Dogg and Dre start, and then you had 50 Cent, and then you had Eminem, then you had Kendrick Lamar, and then you had them close out the set. It was so good, so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary J. Blige, she came in and crushed it. So it was just really exciting to see how quick the show went.
No, it was awesome.
And the whole thing, the set, the whole experience was so good. I'm actually going to watch it on TV tonight because I just want to see it, see how it went. But it was so much fun, big for LA. And what I also liked, like, obviously there was no cursing. They didn't even, there wasn't an attempt to bleep it out. They just didn't say the words, which I think is really important because it just makes it feel like a more family-friendly environment for everybody. So I thought that was really cool. And then I thought the crowd's engagement and interaction with it was awesome. Like, people were going nuts.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows the words to all these songs, no matter how,
it's legendary shit.
And the crowd, let's say, is generally older. In their 40s, I would say, is probably like the average age.
Yep.
You grew up on these artists. Like, Dr. Dre came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally 30 years ago. So, most of the adults in the room grew up on these artists. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then obviously young people know the music and know the artists as well. But, just thinking about Snoop and Dre from those areas.
Yeah, from the city.
Yeah, it's so crazy to see that.
Like, when that beat dropped, it was like just epic. Like, with the Snoop Dre song, like, it's just like, congrats to Anthony. He was part of the show. He was part of producing it. Kendrick, I think Nas was an advisor.
Oh, wow.
To the show.
That's awesome.
So
Kendrick killed it. His whole, as always, like, creatively, his was the best.
Yeah,
it took so
They're
much.
so creatively out of this world.
Yeah, creatively, it was definitely the best set. But yeah, man,
because like everyone like jumped up, right? Like there's all these people that like flew up.
But as always, incredible. Super Bowl is just like the best experience. It's such a well done event on so many levels from an entertainment factor. Like, you get goosebumps walking into the stadium. And we were just there 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, it's not the same.
It's the Super Bowl. It's just, it's big.
There's a point between, we've been to a lot of Super Bowls, like, fortunately, like, there's a point between the national anthem and kickoff. It happens so quickly.
Yeah.
Like the transition. And you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're at the biggest event in the world.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious in the stadium. You're like, oh my God, I'm witnessing history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. And I think congratulations to the Rams, city of LA. I think there will be now like generational Ram fans.
For sure. If you're an 8-year-old and you saw this game, you're a Rams fan for life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the other interesting thing is that when you look at like sports, like having this kind of moment, a lot of things. People talk about all these other different distractions in terms of like where young people spend their time, games, stuff like that. It's going to be very, very hard, specifically in football, to replicate what the Super Bowl and what NFL is for a lot of people. I don't think you're getting that anywhere else yet.
I mean, it does seem like the one sport that is just unbreakable.
Yeah. I mean, you see Olympic ratings are way down.
Yep. I'm sure Super Bowl ratings are way up. We don't know the numbers, but I'm sure it's way up.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, compared to last year with no, COVID restrictions.
Especially with the game being close.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming down then.
And then we headed to our cars. Got stuck in a little traffic, not too bad. And we went to Delilah.
Yeah.
Sunday night. So Sunday night at Delilah is a famous night. They do jazz night there. And they have a live band. It's always fun. But obviously it's Super Bowl. And I was joking with everyone saying, I want to see the trophy. It's going to come to Delilah. It's going to come to Delilah. I don't know if it did ever. I didn't stay late enough to find out. But obviously the energy was electric in there. Everyone who was at the game started showing up. It was a fun night.
It was a great night. I fell asleep the entire car ride from the Super Bowl to Delilah.
That's nice.
Which allowed me to enjoy Delilah.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have that nap, there's no way I would have been able to enjoy it.
Yeah, I didn't know you took a nap. That's interesting. Well, great. I mean, great night. I'm so tired. I cannot explain to you how tired I am. How were the commercials? Did you guys even watch the commercials? Did you watch the game? You didn't even watch the game?
None of it.
Wow. What
What'd
were
you
you
do?
doing?
I was working, honestly, most of the day yesterday.
What about you, Jordan?
I watched like the second half.
Wait, you didn't even watch the fucking game?
We had some house or apartment visitings at the beginning of it, so we had to miss it.
So you didn't care enough to watch the game?
It would have been nice to watch it. Like I said, I got to see the second half, so I guess,
But it wasn't like an event for you?
No.
Got it. So this is where the youth is.
Yeah.
No one cares. So ratings, in theory, will decline longer term.
Yeah.
These are both mid-20-year-old guys
Yeah.
that don't give a shit about the football Super Bowl.
So maybe I'm dead wrong. Football's toast.
They'll get their next TV deal.
Yeah.
But the one after that might be trouble.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right. I heard Coinbase had a cool commercial. It was a QR code that crashed their site. So that's pretty cool.
And it was like a top app after the commercial.
So that clearly worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there was a lot of electric vehicle commercials. That's interesting. It seems like everyone, even the activations this weekend, there was a lot of electric vehicle activations all over town. It looks like it's such a big opportunity that every company's all in on it. 6 of the 7 Super Bowl car ads featured electric vehicles. But
Wait,
only
say that
9% of passenger vehicle sales globally are electric vehicles.
Interesting. So they're trying to push it on us. And, I mean, Elon made this the trend. Everyone has to do electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a brand thing.
Yeah.
Whether people are buying it or not, it doesn't matter. If your brand doesn't have electric vehicles, Elon has literally like grabbed the torch and said, this is the future.
Yeah. Interesting. So I was going to ask you about Super Bowl commercials, but since you guys didn't watch it, I didn't watch it, obviously, so I have no insight on the commercials. So let's move on.
No one under 25 cares about the Super Bowl.
That's crazy. I'm sure they do. It's just these are LA kids.
Yeah, I think we're outliers.
Yeah.
All my friends care.
Really?
I'm just not that big into football.
Yeah, but like, you didn't even need to be into football when we were 19. It was just a thing you had to do. Watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I watched the halftime show, just not the commercials.
So you turned on the TV.
No, just I knew they were going to post it on YouTube.
Okay.
So as soon as they posted it, I watched it, and that was it.
I mean, I remember being a freshman in college. This was actually the Brady Super Bowl, his first one. it didn't matter if you cared about football. Everyone got around the dorm and watched the
Yeah,
game.
well, now there's other things to do and other things to watch, and
Yeah.
people find whatever they're interested in.
Yeah, they rather watch Bryce Hall dance.
Well, I guess that's really the full Super Bowl recap. There's a couple news stories that are kind of interesting that we should talk about. Microsoft is starting to bring employees back into the office.
Bring them back in.
It looks like a lot of companies are accelerating now. The Omicron pushed. Everyone was supposed to have a January start date, like the big companies, the Googles, the Facebooks, and now that wave is gone. I mean, not one person wore a mask in the stadium.
No one. Maybe Leo.
Leo was probably the only person wearing a mask. I mean, the mayor wasn't wearing a mask.
No.
He was all over town this weekend not wearing a mask. How are you still making people wear masks? How are you still making children wear masks to school? Like, these are just asinine things. If it was still at the same level of contagion, we would think about how many things have happened in the last couple of weeks in LA with massive amounts of people.
You
Sporting
can't
events.
have the Super Bowl in LA and make kids wear masks to school.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's literally crazy.
It's
like our niece was doing ballet, and I got a video from Ashley and Scott, and she's wearing a mask in ballet.
That's crazy.
I'm just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
How crazy are people?
Yeah, it's completely nuts. But yeah, look, I think
She's 3 and change 4, and she's wearing a mask, and I'm literally at the Super Bowl with no mask.
yeah, it's crazy. The other thing I think,
Did you have to wear a mask at the NFL experience?
yes,
Dominic did too.
yeah.
And they were enforcing it, or were people just like
I
faking
mean,
it?
I would say like 25% of the crowd was not wearing a mask. 75% was.
Oh my God.
If everyone doesn't wear it, it does not matter. No. It's so fucking stupid.
And we've learned that you have to wear the right mask.
And by the way, then you also are requiring vaccination. You're also requiring negative COVID tests. If you require those things, you shouldn't have to wear the mask.
Yeah, I mean, people have lost their goddamn mind.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see. I think, but the office thing is real. Whether you like it or not, you're going back to work.
You're 100% going back to work with growth stocks down 60%. This
Yeah.
whole fantasy of like get rich quick is probably over.
Yeah.
And you need to show up,
Yep.
put your trousers on, and
Yeah.
fucking get on your keyboard and start typing away.
Yeah, because the other thing that people, I think, really should be aware of is that we are entering headwinds in the economy, 100%. The stock market is getting corrected. Growth for companies will not be the same.
Yep.
And so when that happens, companies don't have leeway. They're going to demand different things of their employees. And those that choose, like, look, there will be careers that will be possible that are remote. There's no doubt in my mind. There are positions at companies that can be remote, no doubt in my mind. It just can't be all of it.
Yeah, I think the power dynamic completely shifted in the last 45 days.
Yeah.
So, 60 days ago, 45 days ago, it was the employee that had all the power.
Yeah.
Now it's the employer.
Yeah.
And with your equity down significantly, and you're going to see layoffs across the board. I guarantee it. We're potentially heading into a recession.
Yep.
And we have like 7 rate hikes is what people are insinuating.
Yeah.
It's going to create an economy.
Yeah.
And guess what? If you're an employee, this is like a really like important lesson. You don't have the power anymore.
Yeah.
It's done. That was a COVID, like I can have 3 jobs and do nothing and show up on 2 Zooms. That is completely over.
Yeah. I agree. I think people should be, and I know people get heated about this particular topic, but
No, so I mean, they're going to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
What's there to get heated about? You're going to
Yeah.
get fired.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have a job.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is as companies start doing layoffs, underperformers are cut. Those are the people that will be cut.
For sure.
And underperformers are the easiest target in this type of environment. And those that are thriving will continue to thrive. The rest, if you're not, I don't want to do this. I don't want to come in. I don't want to. If you're a problem and you're not flexible to your employer, you don't have much leverage.
Yeah, you can't live in Idaho anymore. Get back to fucking Facebook headquarters. Show up. Make sure Zuck sees you.
Yeah. Greet him at the water cooler. So that's interesting. I think that is kind of the big dynamic shift that's happening.
For sure.
That we'll continue to see. Moving on, I thought this was fascinating and scary at the same time. Shein is investing $2.3 billion for a supply chain hub in Guangzhou.
So explain what Shein is.
Shein is the global fast fashion e-com leader.
It's like the new Zara H&M.
Yes.
But e-com.
But it's all e-commerce. And we've talked about it at length. The genius of Shein is they're shipping directly from China to customers all over the world. So they're not paying the duties and the shipping and the freight costs that all of us have to pay domestically when we bring our goods in from overseas. Because to sell goods from China to America, if it's under $800, has no duties, no taxes. So Shein is just kicking everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're rumored to be doing like $15 billion.
Yep.
Maybe 20 this year.
Yeah. And they don't sell in China.
They don't even sell in China. That's how insane this business is.
The numbers I've heard is like 55% US, 45% the rest of the world.
And so Americans are eating it up.
Yep.
They love it. Fast fashion, inexpensive clothes.
Quad pay.
You on top
So you
of
get
that,
a skirt for like $14, you pay $3 a week, right?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. So where I think there's where it continues to be scary is these guys are investing. They're fully vertically integrated, right? They're investing this global supply chain gargantuan complex in Guangzhou. No other company in the world has this, right? And they're fulfilling and they're shipping out of China. This is like, they're going to enter every category. I was trying to think like, who can really take down like an Amazon? These guys can do it.
So you think they're going to expand?
They last year were selling clothes only. They're in home goods. They're in beauty. Sell everything.
So why is the U.S. not like watching this?
I mean,
would you rather have Amazon be the winner, or would you rather have Shein be the winner?
It sounds like they'd rather have Shein.
They'd rather have TikTok than Instagram.
TikTok and Shein are two of the biggest companies in America, and they're Chinese owned.
It's such a joke. U.S. politicians are literally the dumbest people on the fucking planet.
If I was a politician, if AOC and all these people are so want to help America, you should shut down Shein.
Shut down Shein, shut down TikTok.
Yes.
I've been saying shut down TikTok for 2 years.
Yeah. And I think and they're setting themselves up for they're unbeatable. What Shein is building is unbeatable.
Yeah.
You're going to make everything, sell it direct, not pay duties in America. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's completely insane.
They literally skirted every angle.
Yes.
And there's multiple.
Yeah.
So there's Shopsider.
Yeah.
Which is growing.
There's so many folks like this. I remember the day we discovered Shein 5-6 years ago, and we were like, oh my God, they're shipping it from the factory. This is the future. And so when you think about like a Shein, look, it's not a brand at the end of the day, but they can just go buy brands.
But this is also like, if you want to talk politically, it's like a massive problem. Like we were at home on Friday with our cousins that work at high-tech startups, Amazon, Apple, blah, blah, blah. It is impossible to get a green card.
Yeah.
These are super smart, sophisticated folks.
Highly educated,
highly talented.
Yeah.
And we're kicking them out of our country.
Yeah.
Like our cousin was literally telling me he's probably going to have to move to Vancouver.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get the lottery.
Yeah.
In March.
Yeah.
And we're kicking them out.
Yeah. It's
like
crazy.
How stupid is the government?
Yeah.
Like you want those folks here.
Yeah, and not go build companies in other countries.
Yes.
You want to build them in America.
I mean, our friend, I won't say his name, but he's got kicked out and he's at Snapchat in London because
Yeah.
he can't be in LA.
Yeah.
Because of visa issues.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
Yeah, and he's starting a new company.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be found in America.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
We are kicking out the most sophisticated, highly educated, technically sound folks for what?
Especially given that the future is this industry, it's technology and those innovations that are going to keep us ahead of the curve. And we're just getting our ass kicked by China.
Yes.
Every which way.
Every which way. I mean, Shein literally is better than every retailer in the United States.
Yeah, because they have an unfair advantage. And we're letting them just sell to our customers.
Do you think the Biden administration even knows what Shein is? They're literally kicking
I'm sure
Macy's
people, I
ass.
guarantee you staffers are shopping on it.
Yeah, but they don't realize what they're doing to Gap, Macy's,
No.
J. Crew, like all these like, retailers.
And I mean, if I was Amazon, I would be lobbying that any goods shipped directly from a factory direct to America must be taxed.
100%.
Yeah.
China doesn't let Google, Facebook exist in China.
Yeah.
And we're letting these guys just come in and fucking mop the floor with us.
By the way, if Shein is really doing $20 billion this year,
they might be doing more.
Okay, let's just say they're doing 20. That means $11 billion in America, right?
Yeah.
Just in America. That's $11 billion out of American retailers' pockets. Those are American retail jobs. Those are American warehouses. That's FedEx. By the way, they don't use FedEx or UPS. They use their China Post directly to America.
Yeah, it's absolutely asinine that the government doesn't realize what's going on.
Yeah.
It's insane to me.
Insane.
TikTok is so obvious.
Yeah.
This is, you have to actually peel a layer back.
You have to read.
You actually read 3 sentences.
You just have to read where the package came from and you could figure it out. But God knows none of these people
I mean,
are
this
doing
is
that.
why like politicians are just like completely stupid. Like, why are you talking about Elon Musk and his $20 billion of stock sale? Like, it's on Elon's creating jobs in America.
Yeah.
His factories are here.
Yeah.
And we're talking shit about Elon?
Yeah.
When Shein and TikTok is just fucking eating our lunch?
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, on that note, the last topic, we talked about it briefly. We'll end on a light note. Kanye and Julia Fox are officially over.
Okay.
No, obviously sad to see.
That was quick.
What I did notice yesterday on Instagram, I don't know if they're still up, Kanye West was really going in on Instagram yesterday.
He's lost the plot.
He went on a whole rant about Pete Davidson not being able to see his kid. Apparently, Pete Davidson texted him and kind of said, like, hey, I'm not trying to, basically like a peace offering. Kanye posted on Instagram, if I read that correctly, of Pete Davidson's text. He goes, "You will never see my kids." So Kanye's now turned this whole thing into like, basically about his children not being able to see them, and I believe they were at the game, right?
Yeah, with Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown with the kids. Were the kids there?
Definitely
or no?
2 of the kids.
Okay.
How many kids are there?
There's 4. I think
They showed them on the screen.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's 4. But yeah, I mean, there you go.
How did Kim let the kids go to the game?
I think it's part of like when you're divorced, you have to like make compromises.
But she knew it was going to be a spectacle.
Spectacle is their last name. It's good for business.
Yeah, he wore his mask or his like full covering, and I don't know, man. I don't get how he thinks he's winning by posting all this stuff. I think it doesn't matter. Does it just not matter?
What?
He can say whatever he wants.
Clearly, doesn't seem to be any recourse.
Yeah.
All right, I'm tired. It's been a long day, but we wanted to make sure we at least shared you our full experience at the Super Bowl. So we'll see you next episode. We'll hopefully get some sleep between now and then, and get my phone back working. It's so far I have a phone now. It just has not uploaded or downloaded all of my information yet. So that's the next step. All right, everyone. See you now.